Hello, hello, hello. This is Britva78 back with the third part of my modern farmhouse build on The Sims 4. Just a reminder, we're in Twin Oracle Point, which is part of the New Crest map. And I am building a modern farmhouse. So this is mainly going to be the interior design video. It'll be two parts of interior design. I took a couple of videos and sped them up here to make a speed build. So this is the living room where we last left it off. I was trying to figure out this living room space with these weird couches and this weird table. And now you can see I'm playing around with the blinds. I will be spending quite a lot of time on these blinds, as I've watched this a couple times now and realized I spend way too much time on window dressing in this video, which is really quite ironic because I very rarely put any window dressings on my houses. It is also really bothering me, the fact that the windows on the right hand side of this room are on the floor, whereas everywhere else they're up about a foot. But I'm going to try and look past it. I'm not sure why I did that. I must have been making a choice. Let's all recall this was many, many moons ago. It was 14 months. It was back in February of 2020. So trying to remember what I did there, but I do not recall. So this little space here is kind of a way to break up this great room space that has living room, dining room, kitchen area. I put a little seating area here to kind of break up the space a little bit and kind of define sort of some barriers of rooms. I really love those chairs. You may notice as we go through this interior design, I use those chairs a lot. They're from the bowling pack, which I generally don't use a ton of stuff from, but I really do love those chairs. And they come in just a ton of really cool colors as well, so that helps. So yeah, trying to put a little bit of decorative spin on this little area. Ooh. And there you can see the tiny living table and the lighting piece that's actually kind of like a tray with some clutter and some candles in it. So confirmation, this is definitely post tiny living, pre all these other amazing packs. Okay, in these dining room, I could not find a table I liked here. I do remember this, really struggling to find the right table. I wanted something that was kind of modern to go with these funky chairs that give it a pop of color, but nothing was quite feeling right. And I like the fact that the chairs now lock into the table so you can move the whole thing as one piece. However, when you do want to actually get rid of just the table, it is a wee bit tricky. You almost have to have enough space that you can put another table down and then put your chairs at that table, like I'm doing here, and move them around. I think this is the table I land on finally, because I like that sort of big glass centerpiece. Gives it a little kind of modern vibe. And I'm trying to find kind of a hutch, a dining room hutch for the end wall there. I seem to lose the hutches in the items. I mean, what do we call this? I don't know why I want to keep calling it a gallery, but it's not a gallery. But in amongst the items and the way they've categorized them, I can never seem to find the dining room hutches. I don't know why. It seems like they get lost into the oblivion. That's the one thing I have the biggest struggle with. I also really like these lamps, which I believe are from... Yeah, they're from that fitness, which is really strange. They don't really strike me as fitness-themed lights, but I really like them. They work on a lot of spaces. Here I know I use my absolute favorite rug, I don't know why I love it so much, is this one where I will take it and size it multiple different ways. Love that rug. It just has a lot of texture to it. Yeah, I really like that. Oh, now we get into the kitchen. I spent so long on this kitchen. And now that I look at it and watch this again, this is probably the third or fourth time I've watched this. I am desperate to redo this kitchen with all the new items that we have. I kind of can't wait, like, to be done this series of videos and actually take this house and give it a little bit of a little zhuzhing, let's say. Like, this is a very dark counter space that I put. I do, before the new kitchens that came out with the home decorator, I did typically like a darker countertop, but I do think that those lighter, brighter kitchen sets that came with the new pack, they're very appealing to me. I do like the idea of making these more modern, light, bright kitchens. Oh, I love that color in those chairs, that kind of coral, sort of orangey, burnt kind of color. Love it. I was really trying to put like a lot of different pops of color into this space. Like, we have that sort of turquoise teal couch situation. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it, but that's what we have. And then we have these coral, orangey, red, burnt kind of colored chairs in this conversation space. And then at the table we have these green chairs as well, and just really trying to play a lot with different colors. I mean, I know I'm kind of known for these kind of basic gray walls, but I wanted to try and put color in other places. Now this is where I love to do like a lot of clutter on kitchen cabinets. I feel that we could use so much more in the way of kitchen clutter, even after having the new clutter items added. I feel like we've basically just scratched the surface of what you could potentially do with clutter. I'm hoping that the new cottage living will have a lot of clutter as well. It seems like the kitchen that they were showing in the video with the trailer did look like it had a bit of clutter in there. I'm just really hoping for that. I love a homey kitchen, and I feel that right now with what we have, we can't quite get there, but I'm really hoping that the clutter continues to be a trend on these new packs that we're getting, and we can continue to give this kind of homey look to kitchens. And this kitchen doesn't look terribly homey, even though that is my general jam. And I was trying to put some sort of interesting textured look onto the back of the wall, but I just couldn't find anything. Now, I do like the fact that in The Sims, we can either use Alt, we can use BB Move objects, we can move sort of things up and down, but really wish we could push them in and out a little bit better. Like, I'd like that to be inside the wall almost. And it's a wish. I don't know that we're getting there anytime soon. Oh, and I found my hose. Whenever I find that hose, I will grab it and I'll put it on an outside wall, because it's another item I can never find. This person loves their spices. I'm not really 100% sure what that item is. I have a feeling it has to do with the Get Famous pack and doing advertisements, but I'm not really sure. Make it look like they're cooking, or they just came home with the groceries and they've left a few things on the countertop. Yes, I think in the end, instead of using these panels, I used a kind of tiled wall to give it that texture. It's like giving it a backsplash, but all the way up the wall. That's another thing I really wish we could have kind of... I feel like the backsplashes aren't really very realistic in The Sims. Like you have to have either the whole wall or a half wall that doesn't necessarily come up to the right height. Okay, so this space here, this opening is into the office space. And I wanted to do kind of like a pantry, like an open pantry look on either side of the doorway in. So I sized up these wall shelves. Sorry, I don't know what happened with camera here. It seems to have gone completely rogue. So yeah, I sized up some of these shelves to kind of be enclosed in this space. Where am I going? Yes, so I wanted to put a lot of clutter in there, but I did find that there just wasn't enough that without having to duplicate a lot of the pieces. So instead I took a few of those shelves out and used this picnic trunk situation. And I'm really hoping with the cottage living that we could put a real picnic basket in there. And then on this side, I kind of did like a message center, which may seem a little redundant considering your office is just through there. This is a trick I read about where you can take a countertop and size it way, way down and put a laptop on the counter. So it sees the counter as being a space that has like a slot for a laptop. You could put the laptop there and have it look like it's sitting on that shelf. Obviously, I decided against it and went with instead kind of like a little notebook. And like using the space, it makes me think of like, you know, you see that space when you first come in and you've got all your sort of little knickknacks, little things that you are using on a regular basis. It's right next to the front door. So the backpack is thrown down there for the kids. They're doing some quick homework there. Maybe there's a lot of mail. Maybe that's why there is 6 or 7 boxes of who knows what in here. This is where I really struggled with using BB Move objects and moving things up and down and in and out. They were going everywhere. They were in the ceiling, as you can see there. They were in the wall. I could not get these boxes right. If there's one thing I remember about this build, it was struggling with those boxes. I also didn't want them all being exactly the same. Obviously, not everything's going to be exactly the same in a space like this, but I was getting very angry at these boxes. I think I finally got them, gave them a little bit of variety. And now I want to go in there and just put all the new clutter items from Dream Home Decorator in there. So here I was struggling a little bit with the sizing as well, with the different clutter items for the kitchen. I also find that there's a lot of items in here that look like they belong in the kitchen, and then you look closely, clearly for the veterinary offices. You're like, this is dog bones or something else. Here's another spot where I was like, get on that shelf. You're driving. This is why the camera comes really far back, because I'm trying to pull these items out of the dang wall. I was so frustrated. Honestly, you cannot believe how annoyed I was getting at this point. I think at some point too, I just gave up and I was like, all right, there's an empty shelf. I don't care anymore. Life's too short to struggle with these items on these shelves. Oh, look, here's a little sign, goodbye. See, just like out. Yeah, the blinds. I don't understand why I just did that because I love that dining area there. I think it's so cool how it's surrounded with these windows and you would sit there and look out at the pool, like you have this great view. Why don't I just go ahead and throw these giant chunky blinds on it so I can't see out? Like, what was I thinking? Anyways, this is this is the office space for 2 por dos or more o más. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to put a couple desks. I mean, you could really come in here and you could take some of these desks out and add more bookshelves or add more desks. Take the bookshelves out. I love the idea of doing some more module stuff in here as well with the new packs. Again, I have so many ideas for how to fix that up. But my God, I loved this space when I first was doing it. God, I really wish to have this really cool big office in the front of my house that is open to everything here. It would be so nice. This is perfect for, like, little did I know when I was making this video at first back in February of 2020, that would be the perfect room for the rest of our lives when we're going to be working from home, the whole family. It would have been great. Although it is kind of nice to have separate spaces for separate people doing separate jobs during a pandemic, working from home. If you can do it, I recognize that that is not necessarily something that everyone can do, and that's why this has been such a struggle. But this would definitely be a great place. Imagine, like, homeschooling your kids in this little office during the pandemic. Maybe it's a bit of a bummer to be just thinking of this, living in this house during the pandemic. This is the dream. I really like this little corkboard map situation. It's so cute. Love it. Always love a map in the office. I'm frankly angry I don't have one. IRL. I'm never going to say that again. I apologize. I also really wish that they had proper, like, rectangular window seat items. I mean, I know we have that one that it can go into a bay window, but I really wish we had the proper sized window seats that are actually a proper 1 tile wide. That is a wish that I have. Oh, I finally given some light to those stairs. So this is kind of a back hall where everything kind of comes together. There's sort of a place. Oh. Had to go steal one of those accent tables. There's kind of a space to sit, and there's going to be a closet in there. That's where your powder room is. But it also goes into the master suite as well, and the mudroom and the laundry. I really like those any of the picture items that are multiple photos or pictures. There's just kind of a cluster for a photo wall. I really like those. I wish we had more options for those. It's my favorite closet, the 1 tile closet. This is where I'm going to spend a little bit of time mocking myself. Now, I have already mocked myself for my... I love that chalkboard. I don't remember that chalkboard. I'm going to mock myself for the fact that I am so basic in that I use the same walls. I've already mocked myself for the fact that I use the same walls all the time. I use the gray, light gray, with the crown molding and the base boards. But when I get into this bathroom here, you're going to see, and you're going to see it in like pretty much all the bathrooms, I use the same tile, the same wall, the same toilet, the same mirror, the same lights. It's pretty sad. Need to get a little bit more creative. Hopefully doing these videos will push me to be a bit more creative when I start doing a bunch more challenges. So as you can see, I also changed the door there because it bugged me that it was 2 separate doors. I did want a double door, but I wanted something that matched the look everywhere else, and that was the closest I could come up with. It's not perfect, but it's close. Here we go. So same tile, always this sort of spa day tile, floor, and walls. Every day. And I'm going to use the same toilet as that one with the black and white. And I do use this sink a lot, although the sinks I do tend to kind of put a little variety into. That mirror, use it every time. I think I like it because it gives a little bit of light as well. This is something new I've never used, but you will soon see it doesn't last. Yeah, and as a reminder, we could only put doors on the actual tile spaces at this time. We didn't have that alt feature to be able to move it around. That's a weird looking rug there. I use that light all the time. I'm going to make changes. I'm going to make changes to the way I do these things. Challenges. That's where it's at. And here's the only place that I'm happy with the blinds, because that bathroom should not have that many giant windows. It is open to the world. It's kind of silliness, if you ask me. So now we're in the master bedroom. I do like this bed. I do use this bed quite a lot. It's just a very kind of simple looking, but like sleek, and I don't know, it just looks like a classy looking bed. And I usually use the black one because I do find a lot of the colors can get a little wild, but I do really like this bed. I use a lot of the vintage items in this bedroom. Here I go with my favorite rug. You know, you can size it to any size and it just looks darn good. So it just seems like I was going with a little bit of a black and white theme with the master bedroom. So this is actually a perfect rug for the space. Also like to use these sconces in combination with this bedside table and bed. I like these side tables, but like many of the side tables in The Sims, they do seem rather large. But you can't size these ones. Because of the mirrors on the top, they really have a hard time with being resized. Okay, I really like these curtains. They kind of have a cool sheer look to them, but I don't understand why it looks like there's a weird glow coming through them. It's like the aliens have landed. It's very strange. But I think when I made that, I was like, I hate these clunky blinds. Now I'm going to spend 4 hours trying to find the right curtains. And I like this, and I don't know why I had such a struggle with that, but that looks nice. It's still open, but it gives it a little bit of something. And I don't, okay, yeah, please. The bathroom needs the blinds. It's gotta happen. Yeah, see, this is where I was like, oh, the spacing is just not working with these, the way I've done the windows here. I need more of the, like, just one side or the other, like the vintage ones you can see there, where it's a left piece and a right piece. You need more of those. And then I would have like find something, but the bar would be slightly different. It just really irritated me. So I just had to give up on it. It's funny because I typically don't put any wall like curtains or anything like that. It's typically not something I ever concern myself with in my builds. Why did I take it away? I thought it looked nice. Alright, it's back. Everything's fine. Just flailing around a little bit. Alright, this works a little better as a window seat, I guess. I think we could probably use like platforms to make a window seat now. Like a cushion. I have thoughts. I could do. This is a cool little vanity that's like that vintage. That chair though, is it just me? Or is it about to fall over if anyone sits in it? Like, physics, I don't think are going to work well with that chair. Is it just me? That chair's going to fall over, right? Maybe it's just me. Here's my favorite chair from Bolin. And the beautiful, oh wait, I was about to say the beautiful large ensuite, but then we went rogue with the blinds again. I swear I spent half this video dealing with window dressings. So this little space here is a nice little separate area for the toilet. I love a bathroom that has a separate closed door between you and the toilet. So say you and your partner are sharing this ensuite and they want to have a shower or a bath or brush their teeth, you can still go to the bathroom and have some privacy. I love that. So this is, I think at the time, maybe, no, I guess that came with the University pack, Discover University, is the fact that you could have just the shower head and not have to have a whole shower. So I made this little room that would be the shower. One thing I'd like to do with the new pack and the new modular items is to make like cabinets that come up from the countertop in the bathroom, so you can kind of separate the two sinks with some kind of storage solution up the center. I would have liked to do that here. But I think, like, I don't know what I did with this. Can't use that because it's got the hangers. Like, I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know that this works. Typically when I do these kinds of spaces, I will put like shelves, singular shelves up the top, sort of like what I did around the door into the office. But I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was trying out the new items because I know that wall item is from the new Tiny Living pack at the time. There's also not like an insane amount of bathroom clutter. It does make it difficult because not everything can go on a shelf on the wall. Yeah, I like that sort of bench item as well. This is a very nice, relaxing, like that tub in front of that big window. What a relaxing ensuite that would be. Also think I would really like to play around with platforms with bathtubs. Make a cool kind of sunken bath space. Oh yeah, so this is trying to give it a little bit of a curtain into that bathroom, or sorry, to that shower. Everything you need for the shower right there. Beautiful. So this space here is meant to be the walk-in closet. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I want to use the new Dream Home Decorator in here. I think it would be so much fun because the way we had walk-in closets before with these items from Get Famous, it's just a little basic. Like there's just really nothing exciting that you can do with it. And I hate I'm sorry, but I do not like that white trim on that black cabinet. It really bugs me that I couldn't have like a black on black or a white on white. I don't know why we have to have these high contrasting like trims on that item. It bugs me. It's okay, I'll survive. So in this space is meant to be a like a laundry room. This is another thing that bugs me a little bit. Right here, I would love for the washer dryer to sit in the counter the way the dishwasher does. It's not typically how we do it here in North America. I know in Europe they have, like in kitchens, there'll be a washer dryer underneath the counter. But I do like here where we'll have like kind of a higher counter above the washer dryer and be able to like fold your laundry on the countertop on top of that. I mean, you can still fold your laundry on top of them, but I do really love the laundry pack that we got because I really like all the little items, like it's not really clutter, but the fact that you can put like a little bucket with cleaning items in it, the fact that you can put laundry soap and these extra little like shelving units on the wall with the hangers and stuff. They're just a bit more realistic. I really crammed a lot into this small space because I really love the laundry items. I do think they're very cool. Yeah, I just went to town on that space. It's kind of a bit much. So this is the mudroom where you would first come in from when you came in through the garage. I don't know if a mudroom is a universal thing, but that's what I call them. Yeah, so this is kind of where you come in, you drop off all your jacket, your shoes, you put your schoolwork down. This is kind of the centralized hub for all your comings and goings out of the house. I really like that item, that little kind of cubby item, and I really like that color option. It's another little, this is kind of where you throw your keys when you came in from the garage. Again, anytime I use tile, it's gonna be that tile. I need to play around with something a little different. Yeah, putting the shoes underneath the table with BB Move objects. Book bag. I feel like I really should have taken my caps lock off. I'm just yelling. All right, and there's kids' books. And so I think we're getting pretty close to the end here of this part. I will note that window there, the reason it looks weird like that is because of BB Move objects. So you have to pick them up and put them back. So you see a couple of them happen like that. So just a heads up, that will happen. So that's the garage. That's what we're going to start at in the next episode or the next video in part 4. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Now that we're getting into interior design, please subscribe, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Goodbye.